In this video we are making pappardelle pasta, pappardelle, originally from the region of Tuscany. I love eating pappardelle with a red sauce. I think it's the best way to enjoy them. The red sauce gets absorbed by the pasta and you will have a wonderful experience in your belly. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're making one of your favorite pasta, pappardelle. Hi and welcome to Vincenzo's Plate. Today we're making pappardelle. So let's make the dough first. To make the dough we need 4 eggs and 400 grams of flour. I do like to use this amount so I can make extra for me and freeze it. So every 100 grams of flour we need 1 egg. Normally I calculate 1 egg is 1 person. So every person 1 egg and 100 grams of flour. So that's what we get today. 4 people, 400 grams of flour, 4 eggs. So create a well, and what you want to do is you want to break the eggs inside. Use eggs at room temperature. When the eggs are inside, you mix them. Use your hands or use a fork. Mix very well until you get a nice kind of egg cream. You know, you want the eggs to become a cream. I call it cream. It's like a combination of egg and flour. Try not to have the eggs going outside the well. Try to keep the eggs inside. Otherwise, you will make a mess in your kitchen. Now that you're making this, start adding the flour a little bit at a time. Add more flour, and then you need to start kneading the dough. Knead the dough for about 10 minutes. Find your own way of kneading the dough. I like to use it this way. I push forward, come back, push forward, come back. Do what you want as long you're kneading the dough. You want to create the gluten and you want the proteins to move all over the dough. If you want to use a stand mixer, yes, you can use a stand mixer, but you need to remember that the pasta will be a little bit rubbery and the proteins will go crazy when you mix this. You want the proteins to spread around the dough slowly, you know, don't stress the pasta. What we want to do now, we want the dough to rest, and the look is not important, okay? It can be like this, it can be smoother. I'm just showing you that you don't need to be extremely precise. You're not selling pasta, you're making pasta for yourself. So you just want a nice bowl, put it there, and let's cover it for about 10 minutes, even 20 minutes if you have time, so that the gluten is created properly and we got proteins moving everywhere in the pasta, spreading around the dough. Let's just wait, but don't forget the pasta at this point needs to be covered, okay? If you don't cover your pasta, it's going to dry up, and if it dries up, everything we've done is for nothing. Cover it. To make pappardelle, it is strictly handmade. We're gonna use a knife to cut it, and it's strictly handmade. But we need to use the pasta machine to make it flat and perfect. Now we wanna get a little piece of dough. Make sure your dough is always covered, okay? Spread some flour on it so it doesn't get stuck to the pasta machine. Make it flat, and we start from the wide setting here, okay? The wide setting is on 1. We put it in, we press, and we want to create a square shape. At the moment it's a bit round. Turn it again. We want to get rid of the hair inside. Let's put it in there, flat it. I'll do this process 3 times. Again, fold it again and try to create a square shape. And now we want to get a square shape out of it, okay? Ready? Put it in. And flour is your best friend, so make sure you keep adding the flour if you feel like you need a little bit of flour on the pasta, just only in case it's a bit sticky. From number 1 we go to number 2, okay? And let's keep the shape here. Let's keep the square shape. Again, see, square, it's getting longer. Let's go from number 2 to number 3. And here we go. As you can see, the pasta is stretching. From number 3 we go to number 4. Now to make pappardelle we're gonna stop at number 6. Normally pasta machines go from 1 to 9, sometimes they go from 1 to 5, so in that case you stop at 3. In this case, from 1 to 9, we want to stop at 6. And I'll show you why, because the pappardelle are meant to be thick, okay? They're not meant to be too thin. See guys, at the end of this, I do want a square pasta that is long and square, okay? We're getting there. This is the shape that we have. So from number 5 now, we go to number 6. And on number 6, we're gonna extend the pasta the way I want it. So what we do, we hold it from this side, hold it, and press. And this is how long our pasta is going to be. And this is what we get. Nice pasta. We're gonna do pappardelle with this. Now, pappardelle is a pasta that we have to make by hand, okay? You can't really use any machines. There are no machines for home that you can use. Now, this step is very important. You need to put flour on top because we don't want the pasta to get stuck, okay? Put flour on one side, put flour on the other side. Okay, now we can do it, okay? All you need is a knife to cut it. You can just use one of these scraper. And what we do is very simple. Make sure you have a nice square shape. We fold just like this. That's why we need the flour, otherwise it gets stuck. We fold again, and then we fold again, just like this. And then we cut it into the pappardelle shape. Pappardelle is normally thick, just like this, okay? So the pappardella is a thick pasta. That's why you need the flour, see? That's the pappardella. You can make it even thicker than this, but that's a homemade pappardella. You can do it precise. It can be precise. But just remember, guys, you do need the flour. If you don't put the flour, this is gonna get stuck together and it's not good. But look at that. Look how beautiful this is. Pappardelle is one of my favorite pastas. Here, let's cut it again. Can do 3 more pappardelle. And this is pretty big enough for one portion, I think. I mean, not enough for me, but we have enough for one portion. You can put some nice red sauce with meat, a nice ragu. And I do have a nice recipe for bolognese sauce, done in 1 hour and a half. A very quick bolognese sauce. Look, so at this point, what I also like to do is I put more flour on. I don't want them to get stuck. You can also use semolina if you want. Just put the flour on. And what we do is we fold it. We fold it this way, the other way. And here we have your pappardelle. The pappardelle needs to be cooked for about 5 to 6 minutes. It depends how thick it is. It can be longer, it can be less, but normally 5 minutes. They can also be dried if you want, but I don't really like to dry egg pasta. I would prefer to freeze it. So if you want to freeze it, you get a tray like this, put a tray, put some baking paper on, put the pasta on, freeze it, and when it's frozen, you put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in the freezer. When you cook from frozen, you want your pasta to be frozen. Put it straight in the boiling water and add 2 extra minutes. So if I told you it takes 5 minutes to cook, you cook it for 7. But always try, always taste it. It's an artisan pasta. You need to taste it, you need to try it before you can say, okay, it's ready to go. And don't forget, when you put the pasta in the sauce and mix it with the sauce, the pasta absorbs the sauce and it will become more moist. Let's make more. And so I can have a yummy dinner tonight. So let's put flour on the dough. Let's put the machine on number 1. And we do this 1, fold it again, 2, and don't worry because the pasta machine, your fingers don't fit in the pasta machine, so don't worry. We fold it again, just like this, and then from number 1 we go to number 2, and just remember you want to keep this square, so try to go for a square size. Don't make it skin and long. You just want to go for the square size, okay? Square. So in this way, I'm not going to put it like this, I'll put it in like this. And help yourself to create a square pasta dough. You don't want the dough to be too long, okay? The dough needs to be shorter because pappardelle are not that long. We're on number 3. From number 3 we go to number 4. If you need flour, just put some flour on top. And here we go. Number 4. For number 4, we go to number 5. And look how long it's gonna be now. With his hand, with this, try to push the pasta out a little bit, just like that. So that helps to stretch the pasta. Now I really wanna stretch this pasta from number 6, and I wanna really stretch this pasta, okay? Let's put it in. Ready? And now let's stretch it long. That's what we want for the pappardelle, right? This is the pasta we have for the pappardelle. Now we put it here. See, there is plenty of flour because I'll just put the flour on, so I don't need to add any more flour. And what we do now is we fold, then we fold, then we fold again, and then we cut it. So here we have the pappardelle pasta done by hand, and I think it's the only way you can enjoy the pappardelle. Handmade, artisan pasta made in your kitchen by you, for you. How wrong can you go? You know what you put inside, you know how much love there is in there, so what more do you want? At this point, what I will do, I will just get some flour, put some flour on, and again you fold. You get 2 fingers, fold, fold, and here you have your pasta. And don't forget, flour, it's needed. You always need some flour. And here we go. When you cook the pappardelle, please serve it with a nice red sauce. It is magical. The other recipe I will recommend you to use is mushrooms ragu. You can make a beautiful mushrooms ragu with white wine, mushrooms, parsley, garlic, and serve it with this, and it will be sensational. So thank you so much for watching this episode. We will see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate.